because expected means eventually things are gonna even out. But if you're managing the portfolio of a 65-year-old retiree who may have, depending upon the health, anywhere from 5 years to 20 years to live, that's a different question, because they need the income from the portfolio. So for them, that 3.5% may be just good enough. The only way they can get higher return is to assume higher risk. Again, there is nothing wrong with taking higher risk, or there is nothing wrong not taking too much risk. As long as you know that that means, on average, you shouldn't be expecting a higher reward. And by chance, you may end up getting a higher reward, but that's by chance. Let me get us kind of started on some empirical data. On Wednesday, I'm going to link this whole thing to the beta and capital asset pricing model. But for now, let's see the historical returns for some large asset classes. By the way, this weekend I cooked for the first time Indian food. Oh man, it turned out great. I cooked actually two versions of this. One is called Matar Paneer, which is a North Indian dish, which tends to be spicier. And yesterday I cooked the South Indian version. It's paneer butter masala, but paneer it's kind of an Indian cheese. In fact, in Turkish we call it peynir, so it's word for cheese. So this is cheese butter masala. If you do a search for ChemFrench database, ChemFrench is kind of one of the gods of empirical finance. They did a lot of work with Eugene Fama, who actually had a Nobel Prize in economics for his work. He maintains, I should say these days, his students maintain a database. Among others, returns for different classes of assets. Let's look at first size only, okay? Let's make this a bit bigger. If you look at it, it says portfolios formed on size. So we're going to look at returns to smaller stocks versus larger stocks. So click on the CSV, and let's download that into our folder. This is, I'm going to call this size portfolios. Actually, this is already a zip, so let me open it. I'm going to save it as an Excel file and post it so that you can work on it. No, not September. Let's call this Fama French size portfolios. Okay. Now, let's kind of understand what these things mean. And we're going to ignore this column. This low 30 means the 30% of companies with the smallest market capitalization. And the ways these sorts are done, we can actually read it here. Let's look at the details. At the end of each June, starting in 1926, all stocks that are in existence, other than things like ETFs, closed-end funds, and that sort of stuff, are sorted based on their market capitalization, and they're put into groups, and you form a portfolio. Let's say I'm buying the low 30 portfolio. At the end of each June, I'm going to put all of my money into smallest 30% of the stocks, market cap weighted. So if a company is worth 2 billion, it has twice as much weight as a company that's worth 1 billion. That's what market cap weighted means. And I hold that portfolio for 1 year. Okay. And next June, I'm gonna basically rinse and repeat. So this is basically a passive investment strategy into small cap stocks. And the reason we repeat these sorts, sometimes in that 1 year, companies grow in size, so they're no longer small. You know, there are companies that actually go from small to large in 1 year. And these are the monthly returns expressed as percentages. So 0.14 means 0.14% per month. Okay. And this is low 30, medium 40, high 30. They also have sorts based on what we call quintiles, which means groups that are 20%. So low 20 is a portfolio that buys the stocks of 20% of companies with the lowest market cap. So high 20 would be highest market cap. They also have in deciles. And the reason these are looking like that is because of formatting. Let me call these decile 1. Actually, if you put a little single quote before December, Excel knows not to read that as a date entry. So it's text. Yeah. Okay. That's important only for tagging purposes. For our purposes, I'm not going to need these columns. So I'm going to hide them. Sometimes it's better to hide things, which you may need later. But since, I have valuable real estate on screen, I don't want to see those guys. In fact, I don't want to see these either. Let me save this as it is and post it. From a French decile portfolios. Okay, if you want to download it, you can go ahead and do so. Okay, I'm going to calculate some summary measures, but let me also enter these as dates. So this is July 1927. Because I want to be able to filter on those. When you have a table like that, it's not in the explicit Excel table format, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to data and hit filter. That way I can look at the averages and stuff only for certain periods. So let's look at 1% trim mean. Come on. And MAD. These are the same measures of reward and risk that we looked at. Trim mean of all of these, 0.01. Oh, wrong parenthesis.